What's up, everybody? It's CMP with Craftmaster Productions and Studio1Tutorials.com. Don't forget to stop by Studio One Tutorials and pick up your premium membership. It is 50 cents a day. And don't forget to stop by CMP Kits and get yourself a copy of Plug and Play 808s Volume 2, the Take Heath edition. Now, today we're going to be doing a quick, not even a tutorial, more of just a mentality, right? Of looking at a new plugin. It's the TG mastering suite from Waves, and I had a couple questions from some subscribers on Studio1Tutorials.com, but I figured this would be a good opportunity to do some content for YouTube and kind of go over how I look at these plugins first before we get into everything. I know I advertise Studio One Tutorials all the time. I want to let you guys know, if you're looking for kits, cmpkits.com is the place to go to get all my kits. And especially if you're just coming to this video and you don't really know what what I do, and you want to get to know some of my products, just go over to the free loop section right here. Every Sunday, me and MG the Future go in. We collab on 10 loops every week, and this isn't no throwaway shit. This is, these are legit loops. We have I think we're on volume 22, so there's 220 free loops at cmpkits.com. So even if you don't want to buy a thing, if you just want to sample the talent, and if you like MG stuff, go to mgthefuture.com, check him out, check out his channel, MG the Future, on YouTube. Now let's get to what you guys want to see, this new Waves plugin, right? The way that I have it set up, Michael, the question came from Stone City. He wanted to know, he has he's been watching my channel for a while. He subscribes to the site, so he has Ozone 8, you know what I mean, different limiters, and he was asking, with all of my current mastering plugins, where does something like the Abbey Road TG mastering chain come in? What do I do with this? Should I put this on my band bus? Should I put it on my mix bus? Should I put it on my drum bus? Should I put it on individual channels? And my answer to that is yes. And the way that I come to that type of conclusion is, first of all, with Wave stuff, one of the greatest things about getting Waves products is their presets. Now, if you're a student of the old internet, you might have an aversion to presets, like, hey, presets are whack. But the work that Waves does with, legit, talented, proven hit making audio engineers, they work very closely with these products, and they go ahead, they use them in real life, and they make these presets, and they're amazing. So if you go to, I think this is probably the biggest preset collection I've ever seen in a Waves plugin, that I've bought straight out the box. Like normally they'll have like your typical Dave Sapato, Drew Levine will be in here, and they'll have three sets of presets a piece, but there's like a good almost 80 presets in this thing. 50 to 80. There's a lot. So the first thing that I do is I go through it and I look at how these other pro engineers interpret the plugin, right? So when I look at it, we've got a master bus, glue and punch, make it pop, which I would assume that would be like some type of compression preset, mix glue, more depth and width, so you got some widening, rock forward, tan mix. This one is like, you look at this one right here from Chad, this is individual channels. You got a bass guitar, clean guitar, dirty guitar. They got one for the kick, they got one for the lead, they got one for the vocal, they got one for the snare, acoustic guitars, mid-side whitener, a vocal forward. So as you can see, even though the it's billed as a mastering preset, that doesn't necessarily, or a mastering plugin, that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be towards mastering. Personally, the way that I've been using it personally is I've been using it in, in a chain to um digitally kind of recreate an analog signal chain, right? So let's look at this. This is my mastering. I mean, not my mastering. This is my sample making template, right? So I've got, the arrangement for my sample, put up here for this current pack that I'm working on. Then I expand this folder and I have all of my VSTs, right? So I'm doing that, and all of these channels are routed to the band bus, right? So whenever, if you guys watch my if you guys watch my template tutorials, you guys know I have a bus set up just for my drums. I have a bus set up for just my instruments, which I call my band bus, and then I route those, to the mix bus, right? So what I've set up here is a chain where I start with the TG mastering plugin, right? Then I go into Slate virtual tape, right? And after and then let's see, and then after we'll go clockwise, and then after I go into virtual tape, I hit the Abbey Road vinyl, right? So I'm going from these channels, right, summing down into the mastering console, right? That's what, that's kind of how I imagine it. So we're going into this mastering console, and then out of the mastering console we're recording to tape. So we're getting this tape saturation, and then from the tape we're bouncing down into vinyl so that you can replay it in the real world, right? And that's kind of like my little, my little goofy, like, how to get a vintage sound type of deal. The make insane melodies, like, that are trippy sampled, like Qbeats tutorial, right? So that is currently how I'm using it. And another way that you just want to look at modules like this is you want to not look at them as a whole, but see what their individual channels are actually doing, right? So when you look down here, you've got what they've called input, right? And what input will do is it allows you to adjust the balance of the track. Okay, you can mess with the phase. It's got this guy right here, which is called the tape equalizer. It adds a little bit of tone, and you can use these in either stereo pan, dual pan, or you can adjust the mid side with them, which that is awesome, right? If you guys have any questions on that, I can do a tutorial on that for the site mid side EQ if you guys are interested. When you come over here, you have tone. Tone is EQ. Okay, so the Abbey Road style um, EQ here, where you select the different frequency, right? So this is 11K, and you could boost it or cut it, depending on the types of curves you want to use. So you have four bands here, which is awesome, right? So you could shape your lows, shape your highs, and then you got low mid and high mid, which is fire. I mean, that's really all that you need from an EQ. I mean, you could do a lot of damage with a three band EQ. The fact that they give you four bands is really great. Now, the next section is limiter. You got three different types of limiting. Um, you can set your ratio up, and it gives you a dry wet, which is also awesome because it allows you to use it as a parallel processor. And then you go into the filter section right here. So the reason why I take the time to go over that is because you can break this down, and realize that it's not just one plugin. You're getting four different plugins, right? And depending on how you choose to engage them. You can use them for anything. Like if you just wanted to compress something, right? And say you're like me and you use, you cheat and you use the L2 as a compressor in a lot of different scenarios, because you're lazy and you just want something to sound big and fat. You put an L2 on it, boom, it's popping out in the mix and it works. So you're just like, forget it, I'm doing that. You can, and you wanted to intentionally, like, oh, I don't want, a digital sound. I want to go for something more analog and authentic. Boom, you know if you needed a four band mid-side EQ or four band stereo EQ, boom, you got it here. You know what I mean? If you need to do some admin work on your face, boom, you got it here. If you need to do some filter work, boom, you've got it here. So again, to go back to the original question, should it be on the band? But it should be on whatever you need it as, because it is a utility tool that has four different modules that can be useful in any situation whatsoever. The main thing that you want to kind of consider when you're using this is what what are you trying to do first, right? So it's not, if you have a plan, and this goes with so many pieces of software, right? If you have a plan and you know what you need, then you can look at what is available to you in the tool and then make a decision based off your needs. And that's what I wanted to tell you guys today. So this is CMP with Craftmaster Productions, Studio12tutorials.com. You guys keep it simple, but do not be basic, and we will see you on the next one, fam.